Hey, Dustin Vanoy here, and I'm excited to join you after I took a bit of a break from YouTube and for the most part LinkedIn to work on some things that I'm actually going to share about right now. So I want to announce AI Dev Kit 2.0. So the agentic coding tools, the coding tools we've created for AI assisted or AI driven development to help you work with Databricks have hit a big milestone and they're being promoted. They're going to be now part of the official Databricks Skills repository, Databricks Agent Skills, and this is now installable via the Databricks CLI. However, if you've been using AI Dev Kit, there's some important things to know that I want to share with you right now. First off is you can now do an install of these new skills from their new location. When you do that, you do want to uninstall and clean up the prior skills from AI Dev Kit and the MCP server. So what you'll see happen is it'll actually find the skills that match what has already been there. It will go ahead and clean those out and it'll replace them with the latest that are now managed from the Databricks CLI itself. This is a good thing. We have merged all of the skills into this repository. There have been a little bit of name changes. Check out the README in the repository to see a little bit about that. And there have been some improvements for sure that hopefully will help impact the way whichever tools you're using for building with AI, it'll help those out. So if you really like the MCP server, that will still be maintained. You can totally use it, but I would recommend go ahead, if you haven't customized it yet, run this reinstall process by running the Databricks AI Dev Kit installer again, and then go ahead and go find in the MCP server section of the repo, you'll see install instructions for just the MCP server standalone separate from these skills. The skills in the MCP server don't really have any strong relationship at this point. If you've been using the Visual Builder app to help you have like a coding chatbot that lets you build on Databricks and you can deploy as a Databricks app, share it amongst multiple users, that is still there. That has had some recent changes and adjustments to it, and that'll continue to be improved a bit as we go. Certainly it'll be maintained. So if you have issues, if you have feature requests for the Builder app, if you have issues with MCP server, continue to add issues to AI Dev Kit repository. If you start to encounter any challenges with these new agent skills that get installed, go ahead and go to the Databricks Agent Skills repository and create a GitHub issue there. Me and some others from field engineering, those of us that work really closely with customer accounts that help them get onto Databricks to begin with and help them continue to use the latest features, we're still contributing and looking at these skills and using them on a regular basis. So we'll be paying attention to those issues, as well as the engineering team that we're now collaborating with on this repository. They will certainly be keeping an eye on those and continue to evolve how all of these tools work together and how we take advantage of things like Genie One, which is a fairly recent feature I haven't talked about on my channel yet. This is a way to really do the kind of asking of questions to Databricks and getting back those results. So think of a lot of decision makers, business analysts, business users will be using Genie One, and we can now use that set of capabilities from these skills. So that's just one example. The other things I want you to know about where AI Dev Kit goes next is that we are going to be adding some tutorials, workshop types of capabilities to AI Dev Kit. So it's still a great spot to go and just hopefully get a quick start, an easy way to start building on Databricks and get pointed to the official things that do exist. How do I use Genie Code? How do I use Omnigent? Perhaps some other things coming up in the future. And of course, how do we use the Builder app and the MCP server that are part of Databricks AI Dev Kit already? So that's the big announcement. It's been a lot of figuring out how we consolidate this. And if you are using Genie Code, the other big thing to know is that you should continue to try out Genie Code. If you haven't tested it in the last, 3 months, 1 week even, but let's say 3 months, 4 months, go check it out. It's completely been overhauled and improved. It's continuing to be changed and modified and improved. And so a lot of the content in these skills should be available in Genie Code at this point. Go ahead and let us know if you're seeing that there's some gaps one way or the other where Genie Code is struggling with something that these skills are helping you with, or these skills are missing out on things that Genie Code's able to do. We can probably wire things up a little bit better to take advantage of what's in the Databricks platform already, like Genie One, like Genie Agents, and so on. So with that, what I want to do now is just show a little bit of walkthrough with a little bit of additional commentary on the install process now, what's in the repository, a few musings about what happened to get to this point. So feel free to stay tuned if you want to see that. Otherwise, just go follow the README steps, do the initial install through AI Dev Kit if you've already had it before. If you've never used AI Dev Kit and somehow you're still watching this video, feel free to just go use Databricks CLI to do the install, or go to the official Claude plugins marketplace and install from there, and you'll have the same sorts of skills that I'm talking about. Go back to this repository, AI Dev Kit repository, for the tutorials, and if you ever need the Builder app or the MCP server. So with that, let's get a little bit hands-on and talk a little bit more as we go before we wrap this video up. Okay, so to start with, I just want to show how my setup looks currently for Claude Code. This is probably the most popular coding agent people are using with AI Dev Kit. So if I go ahead and look at a couple things, if I take a look at MCP servers, I should see that I've got, if I have the old thing installed and configured fully, I might have this Databricks MCP. That is from the old setup that we're about to move away from in this new 0.2.0 version I'm going to walk you through. The other thing I can see is if I check on skills, I'll see a bunch of skills listed. And the main thing to note here is they don't reference a marketplace. Most people are not using any sort of marketplace with their AI Dev Kit setup. They're just putting the skills into either the project folder or the global folder for their coding tool that they use. One last thing to check out is that if I look at my marketplaces on my install, I actually have only one, which is the official one. You probably have this already in yours as well, but it doesn't show me any of these plugins actually being installed and enabled for me. And that's going to change with this new step. So looking at the repository here, by time you see this, the main branch, the main README you come to with AI Dev Kit will be something like this. It might change over time, but essentially at the moment that I went live, I have a message talking about the fact that this has changed and we're now going to do a different sort of install, and this will explain it for you a little bit more. Essentially what's happening is we're cleaning up the old stuff, and then behind the scenes, we are running Databricks AI Tools install for you, which acts a little bit differently than what the old install did. Most importantly, that I'm trying to make sure is clear is that there are public-facing skills that have a bit more checks and internal reviews on them that are now within Databricks agent skills. And so essentially everything you saw as skills in Dev Kit is now here, possibly with different names and possibly with some merges of additional improvements and changes and things that fall more in line with other skills that are being used across Databricks AI development. So coming back to AI Dev Kit again, you can read a bit more about what all is happening. One of the things that we call out is that tutorials are on their way. But if I go to quick start, this command actually is going to look the same. I can copy it for my Mac, or you can go down and get the Windows. I've gone through this in other videos, but I'll show you the flow here for the new version of the installer. Again, some of this could change over time. Now for me, what you would do is just paste in exactly what I copied, but instead I will run one that I have locally because this is about to be released tomorrow as I record this video. So what it's going to do is start with prerequisites. Because I don't have the MCP server required and the tools that were part of it required, I no longer have to have UV, but I do need Git and I do need Databricks CLI 1.0 or above. I highly recommend getting as close to 1.9 or whatever the very latest release is if you can. So as time goes on, obviously 1.9 will get outdated and we will continue to update the skills to use newer capabilities of the CLI. Okay, very important is I get to choose what tools I want to use it with. It has detected what I have installed already. I'm going to turn a lot of these off. I actually think I have a few more things installed that it doesn't know about. That's okay. You can pick them whether or not it finds out that they're installed or not. Let's do Claude Code and Codex, which are really popular ones. And what we'll see, at least you'll see it, I'll show you on the Claude Code side, is that it's going to use a plugin as long as I do one thing in the way that I'll show you. So the profile stays the same as it always has been. I pick a profile or create a new one, which is my connectivity to my Databricks workspace. This is what gives me the authentication that I'll need to actually get work done as soon as I'm done with the install process. You can choose project level just for this directory basically, or global for everything I do on this machine as my user. I'm going to go with global. I think that's what a lot of people are preferring these days. So now it's going to give us a warning that it's going to clean up some old stuff. And so it tells me that it's going to clean up everything in the skills folder and kind of gives me an idea of what it's about to do. And I can just take the default of yes in order to do that. So it goes through, shows me what it removed, and gives me steps to continue on in the process. I recommend keeping it as all skills. That'll get you the plugins wherever plugins exist, and we intend that you have all these skills available for you. If you really want to focus in on certain skills, you can pick one or more of the profiles or just make a custom list. That'll install a little bit different, where it actually has to copy the skills into a certain directory for you versus using the full plugin that has all the skills. Moving on, when I do this, I can go ahead and review what I'm about to do. Everything's good, so I choose yes, which is the default. What we'll see is that for every agent, coding agent I selected, the MLflow skills will install from the MLflow repository. So this does not come with the Databricks CLI. This is a piece that AI Dev Kit installer adds on, because many times MLflow skills are also useful. Now we're into really just running that AI tool setup, and we can see that it's installed the plugin both for Claude Code and for Codex. Finally, I can choose to confirm my authentication. I recommend you do that. I actually have done it already, so we won't jump to another page just for that. And then it gives me a little tip on, hey, go ahead and open up whichever AI tool you wanted and get started. It also, though, is letting me know that if I want the MCP server, if I want the builder app, go follow the instructions to get those. Okay, so let's confirm that we have everything installed for Claude right now. If I come into Claude and I run /MCP, I actually do not have a Databricks MCP at this point. I had that before with the older AI Dev Kit versions. Okay, so that's passed the test. If I run skills, what I'll see is that my skill names all have Databricks : whatever the skill name is, because that's what my plugin is called for Claude. If you installed this without choosing all skills, you won't see the plugin. It'll look a little bit different, but you'll still see a bunch of skills, and you should not see them duplicated within Claude Code just because you did not use the plugin. Finally, I can see that I can actually manage things via plugin now. If I go over to marketplaces, this came from the official Claude plugins marketplace. I can see it shows one installed, which is my Databricks one, and I can make sure it's set to automatically update as well. It looks like it is enabled for me, so I don't need to switch anything. I can just count on this being updated regularly. Okay. That doesn't mean that we won't possibly add some other things to AI Dev Kit installer that might be worth checking back every once in a while, but for the most part, you should be good to go from here. I won't go and demonstrate Codex right now. Let's do one quick thing, which is to see what it looks like to add another agent. So if I come through and I add in Windsurf, which is not a tool that is currently supported by the CLI at the time I do this, and it also is also not a tool that has a plugin available, I can walk through the steps in the exact same way, continue with all skills, and let it do its thing. Essentially what we'll see is that it's going to copy the skills into the correct location for Windsurf to use. And there's a chance that it's going to use some symbolic links depending on exactly what I configure, but just know that these skills exist somewhere for Windsurf to use, and you might need to go clean them up or run the full uninstall later if you choose to get rid of them in the future. So it tells me where these exist. They're under my user folder since I did global. So if I go like this and list that out, I can actually see I've got all of these skills copied into my Windsurf directory. So if I pull up Windsurf, it'll know about these as well. So that's pretty much the install process for our skills. The one other thing I'll show you real quick is how we install the MCP server. Okay, coming back to my README, if I scroll back up to where it had a list of the places I could install from, MCP tools is here. If I select that, it'll take me to the actual directory, and this README has some instructions about how to set it up. Essentially, you will need to clone the repository to do it this way, and then you'll need to run the specific install script, MCP install. So let me go ahead and walk through that full process here. So I cloned into a somewhat random location for myself. Definitely put it wherever you like to keep repositories, and it switched into that exact dev kit folder for me. Now, because I'm on a Mac, I can grab this MCP install script and run it from here. Okay, so now if I run that command for the install, it's going to walk me through an install for just the MCP server piece of this. It won't mess with the skills that are already installed separately. And if I don't have the skills, it won't bother installing them either. I'll go ahead and stick with the three that I ended up with before, which is Claude Code, Codex, and Windsurf. It definitely needs a profile now, and it's much easier if I pick the right profile and don't change it later, because each MCP configuration will point to a profile. So I like to use default, and then if I decide I need to point to different places across all of my agents, I would just change what my default profile looks like. If you're not familiar with what I mean by profile, check out the Databricks CLI authentication docs, and you'll see that we often use profiles that are saved locally to authenticate. All right, let's go ahead and stick with global like I've done in other places and proceed. It'll give you a little bit of a heads up of what it's doing. Now we have wrapped this setup.sh script, which is a bit more of a manual process. So it gives us some exact snippets and tells us where they need to go, but it's also going to then go and take care of it for us. And so you should be in good shape once this is done. You just need to make sure any tools you're using that require you to manually set up or enable the MCP server, that you do that. So Claude Code and Codex should be good to go at this point. Windsurf has a little process I go through to basically say, yes, I approve this MCP server. And now with that, we've got the MCP and we've got the skills. Let's check this from the Claude perspective real quick. If I go back to MCP, boom, I've got the Databricks MCP. At the time of recording, it has 44 tools. If you go here and this is read at any point, I would definitely go into the details, try to reconnect once or twice. If that doesn't work, then probably what I would typically do is go back and run Claude in like a debug or verbose logging mode and try to see what's going wrong. That can get a little bit trickier. We will not spend time debugging problems on the MCP server, because hopefully it'll work for you out of the box. So basically the takeaways from this are that we've now got a really nice official formalized way of managing skills. These skills are meant to be similar to what gets used by Genie code. Not that it's a one-for-one match, but we are certainly looking for, if you find gaps in, Genie code's doing amazing at something, but these agent skills with my preferred coding tool are not, go ahead and create an issue on that. If it has to do with all of the like intelligence built into Unity Catalog, we probably can't do all of that just with skills. That's where hopefully it will be calling things like the data discovery skill, which uses Genie One, or maybe the Databricks Genie agents skill, which will be using specific Genie agents. Those are meant to have extra context on your data to do things like data exploration, analysis, and so on, that we just won't have here. One other comment here is that if you are trying to contribute to AI Dev Kit, those will not really make it through. Issues is the better way to go there. If you are wanting to contribute to this Databricks agent skills, this really is going to be through an internal process. So creating issues is probably your best bet. I think any PRs that get created here, we'll have to take a look at and go and handle things internally, and then they'll make it to this repo once they've been completed and approved. So stick with issues, give us as much prescriptive language as you want about what you'd like to see happen. We'll take a look at how that aligns with everything else and try to get changes in as soon as we can when appropriate. Okay, you've made it to the end of this one. Thank you for joining in. I hope to share more via videos about things like Omnigent and other capabilities that leverage these skills. However, I will say that I am definitely going to be working in the back end on some of these repositories for a while longer. And so forgive me if it takes a while before I get you another video, but check out the written tutorials. And of course, if you search, there's plenty of other people putting good content out there to check out. Now, if you do want to know when I do have the next thing for you, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications and whatnot, and you'll see as I start to include more things in the future about, again, developer experience on Databricks, which these days includes a lot of talk of coding tools, coding harnesses, things like Omnigent and so forth. So thanks for joining. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.